SuperNova versus CoCa.
SuperNova starts to the top right of the map. Our Terran player for Team Azuru spawning in red, playing mech on Frost in game number 1 successfully. Let's see what he's going to do on Altazim's Stronghold. His opponent starts at the bottom left, cross-positioned here. Once again, the same starting positions that they had in the last game on Frost. This is CoCa for Gina Green Wing, still sweating here. He's really sweating. His sweat drops at his chin.
Yeah. Well, SuperNova, see what he's got planned here. This is a massive map. I think SuperNova might CC first here again just because why not? He might even do it at his backdoor expansion because if you 6 pool on this map or even like 9 pool or 10 pool, it's not, it's like you're not gonna, you're taking like such a massive risk. Even if you knew where your opponent spawned, the rush distance is so far. He's actually just gonna go for Reapers though to be safe, I guess.
I wouldn't know if we see double hedge before pool from CoCa.
That's also something that we would probably, or I would have thought we would probably see.
Because, like, CoCa is definitely going to go into hatch before pool. But he saw in the last game on Frost already that there was a command sender first from SuperNova. And now he could actually just decide to go into double hatch before pool because he assumes that there is going to be a very greedy build by SuperNova again. But no, he goes into the gas and will drone up a little bit more before he starts his spawn pool.
Interesting choice. Not a bad one for the map. It's going to give him early zergling speed so he can kind of control it and find out what he's up against. Which this could be a map where we see SuperNova mech again just simply because Bio and the pressure that Bio puts on a Zerg player is, it's just not going to happen well here. What are you going to do when your first medevacs come out? You want to go and clear up the creep and scan and do that pressure, and then you're like, well, it takes me 4 times as long as it would on Belshir to do this, so I guess I might as well not. He's going to go ahead and go up to the top left incorrectly. The Reaper goes to the bottom, so he's trying to find out where his opponent is. He's, again, unlucky with spawning in that his opponent's at cross spawns.
Didn't see the Overlord either. If you would have seen the Overlord, he would have known. But it doesn't matter. He goes to the bottom left anyways next.
Yep. So he's going to eventually find it. Second Reaper is going to rally out, and looking more and more like we're going to see mech from SuperNova. He has the command center to drop.
Yep, CC, speed starter on the other hand for CoCa. And CoCa in the beginning of the last game wanted to be aggressive. That didn't work out for him because of the wall that we saw for SuperNova. And now, of course, the question if we are going to see early Zerglings again. With the speed upgrade, he can also just chase down the Reapers, at least on creep, very easily. Everywhere else, it depends a little bit on the micro too. But now we have those queens, probably going to go into extra queens once more, since we are most likely going to see Banshees again at some point in the game.
Yeah, and here comes the first Reaper. Will come in, try to poke at those Zerglings. Wants to get a good look at the gas. He's not quite able to. Sees the hatchery timing though. Also sees that there's no fast third hatchery, like no double hatch before pool build. And he actually should be able to kill these Zerglings off creep easily. Both of them will go down. Well, yeah, I could definitely get both.
And that means no map presence.
And that's really annoying. He can't get out there. He can only depend on his Overlords, which are so far away.
Starport being built for SuperNova again. Pretty much what we expected for most of the game so far. Like, the style that he has chosen is really working for him, so why change it up? The 10 additional Zerglings are being built by CoCa that will help him definitely chase down the Reapers and also get a little bit of map control. Get a feeling for how many units we see for SuperNova. I mean, we try in to take down a few units at a potential third base.
Just keeping the Reapers off of his Queen is nice because he doesn't want to get his Queens too damaged for a possible Banshee follow-up.
And I mean, he was only in a position where he could take down the third or like units at the third base because that pocket expansion that we see is not accessible to him at all. So overcommitting to Lings would definitely be a bit of a problem. But the Lings that we see, they will be able to do something against the Hellions maybe later on, or at least keep SuperNova on his toes. Terran player with the Banshee and the Cloak upgrade, as expected. So it's going to send that out again. And CoCa now with the third base is giving SuperNova a bit of an opportunity to be aggressive here. First of all, of course, targeting that third base while being produced in the first place, and then later on the third mineral line.
Yeah. So, so much damage can be done, but hold that thought. Link's coming over here, actually going to walk all the way across the map and distract here. He doesn't leave his depots down because of possibilities like this. But this is the damage I was saying about. So much damage can be done if the Banshee is over here with these units, but because it takes so far on the map. Where is the Banshee anyways that he has? Is that it coming?
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. So I don't think he's actually going to be able to get this done this time.
No, most likely not. It's more about damaging the queens a little bit so that you have a chance of picking something off with the Banshees. If he can't do that with the extra Hellions that just moved in, I actually think he should, because all of those queens are out of energy.
Oh, Sport Crawler's been repositioned. That's going to help out a little bit. Banshee just takes so long to get across the map, and he's targeting down the queen with the most energy.
Now he goes, starts targeting them a little bit. If he moves that one Hellion back, he can get another few shots off without being punished for it. Oh, tries to go into the main
Wings
once
are here,
again.
though, and he's taking so much damage from the queens in the back. He tries to go out, and this is great for CoCa.
That was well done this time. That was a really good move by him. He was ready for it. This time he expected it, and he said, like, okay, you did that 3 times against me now. It's not going to work a 4th time.
And this is basically the end of the pressure. He can't do anything else anymore. There's too many queens, no Hellions for support, and Sport Crawler's up.
Ooh,
Lair,
double lair.
What? That's a mistake.
Yeah, that is definitely a mistake. Did he cancel one or did one finish?
He canceled one. Pretty sure.
Well, we don't know, do we?
I'm pretty sure he started that one like while the other one was almost finished. Okay. So there's...
Yeah, okay. Oh, actually, that's only the 3rd.
Yeah, we'll have to check the natural, but I'm pretty sure... I mean, we would have noticed it earlier if he was a double lair. I think. We show the unit tab a lot these days, so...
Yeah,
until I see the double lair, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna assume it's not.
Yeah, I think he canceled.
So this harassment here is gonna be shut down pretty easily with all these queens. But you know what? He needs to transfuse, and he does.
He has the energy, but he's gonna lose all the energy, and he's gonna lose a lot more than that.
There's the Overseer.
Oh, there's the first queen. There's a second queen that's being targeted. Oh, this is getting really close. The queens are all out of energy, except for the one that's damaged.
I can't believe he gets in the main base here.
That is crazy.
That is, like, insane. There's, like, an almost wall set up, but it's not quite ready.
Single layer, by the way, at the natural.
Yep. And here we go. Main base goes into the back. The natural, you could say the backdoor expansion here. 2 Hellions over here at the 3rd, meanwhile, doing some damage. And
12 killed already, 14... getting another shot off, not killing anything, but at the 3rd base, the rest is still going strong. How many did he kill in total? We're going to see that in just a second.
Triple Banshees here, ready for harassment as well.
Yeah, ready for the queens.
Ready for whatever they can find. And as long as there's no Sport Crawler, there's no defense.
Yeah, but SuperNova losing a lot of Hellions in the process to accomplish that. And still 63 harvesters for CoCa, so that's worth it. A queen being targeted is going to get that queen. So
gets the Banshee, though.
Yeah, nice, well done. 5 queens are still there, and even more harvesters killed. So a very, not really the best, the most cost-efficient aggression for SuperNova, but by now he's killed 20 harvesters, and that is definitely starting to hurt CoCa.
CoCa's going for the Hydralisk composition again. Up to now 6 Hydras. On this map, it takes so long for him to walk across it, though, and even with the Hydralisk speed upgrade, they're still not like the fastest units in the game.
He doesn't even try to go for that. He wants to have the Hydralisk against the Banshee mostly at this point.
I just mean for later on in the game. And he's going to want to transition out of this time if SuperNova continues to hold. Doesn't want to continue to suicide into the army.
Yeah, he's getting additional bases, and that's usually the time as the Zerg where you have a bit of a core army. You start taking bases everywhere, you really drone up, and you start just having a massive, massive income, and you try to make sure that your opponent is in a spot where he can throw where you can throw armies against him, because a mech 200 supply army is super strong, and there go those extra bases. We have even a macro edge being built for the lava. We have the 4th base going up with 6 queens. You should be able to spread creep fairly fast on the map. He has 76 harvesters now. Can have your harvester up a little bit more, and that's exactly what he does. So yeah, so far so good. Taking a lot of damage in the early game, but still.
Nice transition out of it.
Resources lost would be nice to see, because I would be really interested in how many Hellions SuperNova actually lost and how many Banshees.
Hellions over here not going to be able to get anything done. He's thinking about going for harassment, but he's already spotted. The creep is decent here. He gets a tumor. Small victory. I think that SuperNova just needs to basically identify that his opponent's going for the same composition again, get Vikings out to deal with the Vipers, make sure that he controls them well. I'd like to maybe even see him take another base right now, just to start building a bank, because he's not yet maxed, but to attack across the map goes both ways for both players. It can be very difficult for CoCa to actually start pressuring a 4th that he might want to take right now.
I'd like him to start tech switch or prepare for one, but it looks so far like he really wants to play Hydra Roach again, just with the Vipers. He must have really good results with this against mech players. I haven't seen that too often. Most of the times when I see it, it's either a timing that works or you get crushed. And in the last game, it was a pretty back and forth match that we saw between the two of them, but both players making a couple of mistakes. But it didn't work out for him, so I'm a little bit surprised that he goes for exactly the same thing without at least preparing a follow-up plan.
Yeah, just like starting a Spire and just leaving it there.
Just the Spire so that you have a potential Mutalisk transition. He doesn't have the resources though for that yet. That's why he gets that 5th base. But just to have the Spire there, that helps you for a potential Mutalisk switch. It helps you for a potential switch into Broodlords. So you have options, and right now he doesn't have them. He doesn't have an Ultralisk Cavern either, so just having those structures allows you to go into a tech switch, and he's far from it. He really seems to be very confident in his abilities to simply use the Vipers for the Blinding Clouds and shut his opponent down with that. But if he doesn't hit all of the siege tanks, Hydras melt away against tanks.
They're also not that good against this many Hellbats.
Well, that's the Spire at least.
Yeah, the Spire does go down. That's a relief. The siege tanks are really clumped here too.
And we're starting to get this bank for CoCa. 2,000 minerals, he just needs to take the gas at the 5th base.
This Banshee fleet is going to be able to do so much damage if left uncontested as well. Like, not only just to these Hydras, but if he starts flying around the map, he can start targeting hatcheries with that many Banshees against a composition that's all the way out here, and he sees it. Might want to reposition his siege tanks a little bit. He's already started to work at that, so his siege tanks are a little bit better split. He's got more of them now.
If he waits and then just trades mech army against his composition and is going into a massive amount of Mutalisks, he might potentially win the game right there. Because SuperNova has nearly no anti-air. He has a massive amount of Banshees that has no chance against Mutalisks for obvious reasons. There are only 2 missile turrets on the map. We do not see, I think... Well, what do we have? I think we have a couple of Thors, but I can't check how many there are. We don't see the unit counting station right now.
I think there's only 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3. Yep, there are 4 in total. Yeah, against Muta army that wouldn't survive long. But right now we're not there just yet. He needs to trade a little bit better first. He tries to take down the Banshees. He yanks them in. Yep. He's on the run right now, but well...
Fake drop in the main.
Let's see. Fake drop in the main. Trying to take down as much as he can there.
Just putting those shields up, doing so much. Abducts on Banshees helping out, but he's not remaxing in Mutas. He doesn't trade. He's not getting a good trade out of this. SuperNova is kind of crushing this army. He's making more Hydras and more Roaches because he needs to hold this attack.
Yeah, he chases him to the bottom of the map. We have still, by the way, no 5th gas and no gas taken at that 5th base. That's a bit of a problem for him. You can see that right now. But still...
SuperNova is crushing this army pretty hard right now.
Well, he's chasing him across the map, but the reinforcements are going to be there soon, and maybe SuperNova is too far out on the map. If you get a good flank up here, and here he moves in, and now come the Blinding Clouds.
Good flank, and no Vikings, no answer for those Vipers. Almost every single siege tank is Blinding Clouded.
And now suddenly CoCa can win this battle here.
Yep, the Thor's being repaired right now, so critical, but the Roaches come in.
That's too much, too many Thors. That's
the repair on the Thors is so important, and he has 2/2 upgrades for them.
Well, that Ultralisk Cavern is wishful thinking. That is way too late right now.
Now, he's got a bank. He just doesn't have the. He doesn't have time.
Dude, like he had 2,000 gas a few seconds ago. Go for 20 Mutalisks and crush the Thors.
Keep in mind also, he doesn't know how many Thors there are. Now he sees how many Thors are on the map, but
there are 4 Thors. If he would have, instead of like continuously producing Roaches and Hydras, just switch into Mutalisks, those 4 Thors don't survive for a second, and then you can kill the entire mech army. Of course, by the time you're at the top right, the Terran player will have reacted, but that would have been his best shot to maintain map control and get his economy up again and prepare for another switch.
These Thors are nearly at 3-3. We had the same situation last time, except this time the Thors are not fighting Overlords, and the siege tanks are going to start wiping out drones here in a second. He's got no Hydralisk Den as well, so no more Hydralisk production.
It's just a great spread by SuperNova for his siege tanks, and you can't.
Fuel's being dropped. SuperNova wants that Code S spot.
Yeah, and he's gonna get it. He's gonna get that Code S spot. There is no way for CoCa. He can't even move out of space. The choke point is being controlled here.
GG. And SuperNova from Team Azubo will advance to Code S.
Yeah.
It's CoCa who goes back down to Code B. Really tough group for him to have to play, and especially against clearly such a great mech player in the TVZ matchup. It's not a fun group to play. He has to play him twice.
It's pretty evident today that CoCa doesn't really know how to play against a good mech player, and that's weird since he can practice with Maru.
Yeah, and Maru plays mech a lot.
Yeah.
You played it against Solki in Pro League recently. Really nice style.
I mean, maybe it's just me, but I have never really seen Hydra, Roach, Viper work against a good mech player. If there's a huge discrepancy in skill between the two players, then yes, of course, but I think I've seen one game where that was used with the timing, which worked out. But usually if you have a very siege tank heavy Terran player, that just doesn't work as soon as he starts spreading his tanks, and that's something that SuperNova did. Now you win. You can trade armies, but then most Zerg players that I've seen that were very successful were either relying on swarm hosts or they were relying on tech switches. And with the tech switch, he had the resources to do that. There are 4 Thors. That's nothing. If you have like a good split. Oh, okay. Well, to be absolutely honest, I have to actually correct myself a little bit because we had no. Usually, you see the Zerg player getting upgrades, arm upgrades,
for the mutas,
for the mutalist, or for the air army before that. If that would have happened earlier, then the mutalist would have crushed. As is, I think
he didn't prepare a transition fast enough.
We had 2-2, right?
and almost 3-3.
So
like
then it's much more difficult for you to make it work against the Thors. But I feel as a Zerg, you need to get the bank and tech transition.
I mean,
that's the strength that you have.
You said you rarely see this succeed. I rarely see this even attempted against meching players.
Yeah.
Everyone's going Swarm Host or 2-base Muta or sometimes 3-base Muta to harass and try to get the momentum, then switch into Swarm Host and switch back into Mutalist and try to just mess up the mech composition.
My only issue is you play against SuperNova, so you expect mech. I mean, SuperNova is one of those players that really loves mech in Korea, so I guess you expect him to go for that. So the only reason why you would go into Hydra, Roach, and Viper is because you had good, like you have a reason to do that. It's not just like he played that game and suddenly, oh my god, you play mech? I have nothing prepared for mech. That didn't happen yet.
Yeah, it's funny. Maru's been set up to play against so many Zerg players in Pro League, and he hasn't had to practice for anything else. So it would work out that CoCa practices with Maru for this, and Maru practices for Pro League for playing against the Zerg players with CoCa. But I don't know what's going on there.
He played against mech players that were more passive than SuperNova was, and got behind in economy so much that he screwed up all of his timings. That's probably the best explanation there why it didn't work for him, because he practiced a lot for that, and apparently that composition usually works out for him.
Yeah. Well, as it is, let's take a look at our results for today, and congratulate SuperNova first of all for getting through as now our only second Terran player to qualify.
Third.
Well,
yeah, second to qualify, third in general.
Yeah, third Terran player, and the stats playing a great series against SuperNova, carriers for the win, and also crushing the best defensively there. The real story today is really CoCa's inability to beat a good mech player, and also the best just not being on the same level as any of these players. I feel like what you could say about this group for the losers. Tonight's group is going to be Reality, Sora, Hack, and DRG. This is my favorite group of today, out of the two, and it's going to be awesome. We got 2 more Terran players possible to qualify, but they have really tough opponents to go up against, and I could see both of them falling out, in fact.
Yeah, I mean, Sora and DRG are pretty good, so Reality and Hack, I have a long way to go there, but, well, we have 2 potential Tower players advancing in Group I, so we're going to see that later on. That's actually, I don't even know what time it is, do you?
It's now, I think, 40. No, it's 4:20.
I actually love how you have a watch at
I know,
your arm,
but it was covered. It was covered by my.
And you go straight to your tablet to check the time.
It was covered by my sleeve. Yeah, that's the reason.
Yeah. So what time is it again?
It's 4:20. So we have about an
1.5 hours.
And a half. Yeah.
Yeah, 1.5 hours, and then we're going to be back with the next group, guys. So take a little bit of a break, get yourself something to drink, because we are having a lot more matches in StarCraft II coming your way in 1.5 hours. Hope that you enjoyed the games that we saw in this group. And in 1.5 hours, we are back with the next one here at the GSL Code S.